And today's conversation is around why isn't your manifestation turning up? Where are your desires, the things you've been asking for a long time? Why have they not been showing up? That's what we're here to talk about today. Just wanted to check in with you and see how you're all great. Hi, Kerry. Now, what time is it there for you? Because it's coming up to 20 to 7 here. Hi, Carolina. And no, you're not late. I'm a bit late, actually. I've just joined. So you're perfectly on time, Carolina. So how's your week been? Tonight we're going to talk about 5:30, 6 a.m. Wow. Okay. You're a dedicated person, Kerry, is all I can say. Okay, so today we're going to talk about manifesting and why the desires we've had, some things you'll have had for a long time, like you might have wanted to manifest a specific sum of money, you might have been asking for changes in your body that just aren't happening, you might be asking for to move house, meet a partner, find a new lover, improve your existing relationship, and somehow things are just not improving. So what is going on here? And there are two things that I want you guys to think about when this problem occurs for you. And this is from someone who is doing this work currently for myself, because in the manifesting in the VIP membership this month, we've been looking at increasing our allowing to allow more manifesting to happen. And so sometimes that can really highlight when you're not allowing. Okay, so I thought this was a topic that everyone could benefit from, which is why I'm doing that. Okay, so Kerry, you are on fire at the moment. I love it. Hi, Mickey. I've just started, just about to get into the nitty-gritty. You and Monica actually are really on fire at the moment, so it's really brilliant to see. Okay, so let's crack on. So where is your focus when you think of your manifesting? Is it on the lack of change or on the absence of the thing you desire? So if you want money, for example, supposing you're saying I want to manifest, I don't know, say £10,000. And you've been trying to manifest it, and every time you manifest a bit of money, a big bill turns up and that money disappears as fast as it comes in. What is what are you focused on? Are you focused on, I can't get to this sum of money? Are you focused on, I've been trying for ages? Where is your focus? Where is your attention, basically? So if you want a partner, or you want to, Mickey said in the group earlier that, she's come back from a lovely holiday. She felt brilliant yesterday, and then today feels really deflated and anxious. So for Mickey, my question to you, first of all, would be, where is your focus when it comes to your work environment and maybe work in general, okay? Is it that it is not, so your desire is, I want a better work environment, I want to enjoy my work more, and I want to thrive at work, Mickey. That's your perspective, that's your desire that you're trying to change. But is your focus actually on same old, nothing really changes at work? Monica, I'll add you to the list, no problem. Nothing changes, everything stays the same, and I'm never going to be able to find a place of work where I get paid this amount, get the right amount of leave, and yet I can still thrive. So is there a belief in you that it is not possible to have all the things that are good about your work, so money, leave, maybe interesting work, but it's not possible to have decent colleagues and a thriving environment? So I want you to, first of all, hi Belinda, yeah, so same old, okay? So there, what's happening, Mickey, is that your attention is focused on same old. So even if new came its way towards you, it wouldn't, you wouldn't be able to see it because you're not vibrationally in its vicinity. You're not vibrationally in alignment to it. So there may be opportunities for you to have really brilliant conversations at work with maybe one or two colleagues, but because you are stuck in same old as your focus, you are not in that vicinity. So even if they come to you with that good conversation, you're unable to actually react to it in a way that would give you that boost. So Kerry's saying, yeah, I had to change my attitude and treat work like a freedom-based business. Brilliant. And work lights you up more and more. So that is amazing, Kerry. That's really great. So for me, for example, I want to generate income, right? But if I say, and this is the other thing as well, right? So focus is where is your attention? So if I'm thinking about work, I could be focused on the absence, say, of bookings or the absence of sales in my Etsy store. That would just keep highlighting that absence to me, and it would make me feel bad. But I don't do that. Where my focus is on is, what do I really enjoy doing? I enjoy the creation process. Okay, so I'm going to just keep creating, and then I'm going to put that into my Etsy store, or I'm going to put it out to it. So I love a Tuesday night because it's an opportunity for me to share my thoughts with you, and it really lights me up. And so that is a way to really kind of raise my vibration. So when your focus is on absence or the lack, or nothing ever changes and I'm never going to get out of this, and that can happen with relationships, money, health, work, any kind of situation pretty much that you can think of, what your work is to start trying to find the next best feeling thought, right? So from same old, Mickey, can you move to something like, each day is a new day and an opportunity for me to look for things to feel good about, right? It's quite a small shift we're asking you to do. And every morning what you can do is say to your higher self, your non-physical team, right, I want you to show me opportunities to feel good about being in this job for now, right? Because you don't have to stay in this job forever. It'll do for now. But while you're in it, we want you to feel good about it. So it's about changing your perspective, but moving your focus from its low vibration of the absence or same old into something a little bit that feels better. To expect you to go from same old to, I love my work environment, it is brilliant, it's too big a jump. So we want to do it incrementally, and we want to take small steps. So once you've had, say, a couple of days, 2, 3, 4 days of some really lovely instances being highlighted to you by your team, Mickey, you might find that then you can move yourself a little bit further, which could be, I really enjoy work, or I'm beginning to enjoy my work more because of the interesting conversations I have, for example. And that then moves the needle along a little bit more, because now you're saying, I'm really open to some really great conversations. And because of the rate, sorry, I've got some dirt on my glasses, because of the rate at which you've been moving, Mickey, I suspect this won't be hard for you to do, okay? So I want you to have a think about, what is the next best feeling thought you can have to same old? Ask your team to help you, okay? So that's the first thing. Caroline says, I'm so grateful for my work now for financial freedom. Brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant, Carolina, because signing up to that wellbeing group is really going to emphasize, hopefully their focus will be on feeling happier, feeling healthier, right? So that's going to really help hone in that feeling of, yeah, life is good actually. I feel good in my physical body. I feel good in my mind. My emotions are more upbeat. That's where you're heading for with the wellbeing group. So brilliant, Carolina. I really, really love that. Kerry said, I felt happier at Cheltenham. I was chatting about my father and could take photos. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Yeah, so your boss is what's happening there, actually, Kerry, is your boss is, if you had a choice in that moment on how you would react, right? You had a choice of getting really upset or cross with your boss, or kind of going, oh well, that's how he is. He's just being a bit weird, and I don't need to let this bother me. What was interesting is you lost your work phone, and it was almost like highlighting the disparity between where you are and where your boss is, and your vibration had wobbled a little bit. So really good work. Honestly, you guys are great. You're doing so well. Wasn't ready to leave yet, so I'm finding other things. Good. Yeah. That's brilliant, right, Carolina? Because that is the perfect thing. You don't want to rush moving jobs if you're not ready. So when you have this focus of nothing is changing, or the things I'm looking for to manifest aren't manifesting, how can you make peace with where you are now? And that's exactly what you've done. You're finding other things to keep you engaged, and you're looking for opportunities outside your team. So those are the things that help stabilize your vibration. And then from there, you can kind of go, okay, I'm feeling better about being in this place. You've said, I love this place again. Okay, so that's brilliant. Your vibration has come up. You're back to an equilibrium. You love this place of work. Now you say to your team, right, I want something wonderful to happen every day when I'm at work. I want to notice something wonderful. I might be it might be a conversation, it might be that you notice that your company is being really green and sustainable and really taking a strong stance on that. And for you, Carolina, that might be something that's really important. Or it might be that your company has decided to do a charity day, and it gives you an opportunity to give back under the oversight of your company. So these are wonderful things that could happen to you, but you need to ask your team. I'm really glad, Mickey, that helps. You created truth around work, and I was told today by my manager, just okay. So your manager is your manager, he or she is just saying get on with other people's work, and it doesn't feel right. Okay, so that's where a little bit of resistance is being introduced, because you feel put upon. You feel other people are not pulling their own weight. They're slacking off, essentially. And so you've got to be a bit careful here, because this could really wobble your vibration. Okay. Hi, Louise. You have to make peace with this, what your boss is saying to you. And so for that, I would say to you, Mickey, can you look at the bigger picture of this work? I'm not saying it's right that your boss is putting upon you, but what I'm saying is, if this work that is 2 years old gets done, what will it do for the collective energy of the team? Will it help bring a collective relief, a sigh of relief almost? Will it help bring an energy boost to moving forward, right? What is it that will happen if you do that work? See if you can get to that, because that will help you make peace with it, and it will help you take away your focus from the thought that my colleagues don't pull their weight and they're slacking. And it will bring your focus back to, I am really capable. I am really important because I get this work done that other people cannot get done. I am going to be very successful and efficient and accurate in my work. And I am going to show them how it needs to be done in a really efficient, brilliant way. Now, if you can get to that thought, Mickey, that bit I've just said, you will have really moved your resistance out of the way. Yeah, so for me, what Louise is saying is really true. I know I'm helping people and just feel impatient sometimes. I want to reach more people than I currently am. I totally get that, Louise. Sometimes I do these lives And I come off and I'm like, oh, did that help anyone? I don't know if that's working. Maybe I should change the format. Or I might think to myself, oh, I don't know if, I've even had clients say to me, I had a session with you, and I wasn't sure that it worked. But then a couple of days later, I felt loads better and I realised, oh, it had worked. Do you see what I mean? So don't look necessarily for the evidence straight away. Allow the evidence to flow to you, right? And understand that even though people are not consciously or consciously reaching out to you, the vibrational effect, the ripple that has been set off by, say, your Friday morning walks is being felt by other people. It's being felt by the families of the people who turn up, because those people who go on your walks are going away different to when they turned up. They're going away more peaceful, more calm, more connected, more in their own physical bodies, right? That will show up at work. That will show up in their families. And because they've experienced it once, they'll want to repeat it again. And so they will begin to naturally start looking for more opportunities to feel peaceful and connected. So always remember that there is a ripple effect going on with everything that you do. So the second thing actually that can really affect your manifestation, thank you, Mickey, that's very sweet. The second thing that can really affect your manifestations turn up is, what are the pressure points you're applying to your manifestation? So an example would be, someone says, I want to manifest £1 million or dollars or euros, depending on where you are, right? But I don't want to work for it. I just want it to show up. Okay. Now, what's really interesting about this is that bit of, but I don't want to work for it, is a pressure point. Because what you are doing is you are introducing resistance on how the universe can bring you that currency. Remember, money energy is a bit like a river with millions of tributaries. It flows in all sorts of ways through the nooks and crannies of your kind of daily life, your experience through space and time, to bring you what you're wanting. If you go, well, I want $1 million sterling or euros, but I'm not going to let it come through work, you might have cut off a really big opportunity for yourself. Likewise, if you say, I want to get £1 million, but it can only come through my work, you are cutting off a myriad of other ways of how currency can flow to you. If you're looking for health, right? You might believe the only way I can have a toned, physically wonderful, healthy body is if I only eat one meal a day and I had to do high intensive training sessions 7 days a week. And that might be true for you, but there might be an easier way for you to do it. But because you refuse to allow the universe to show you what is the quickest, simplest, and easiest way for that body to come to you, you're cutting yourself off and creating a pressure point, right? And the same goes for a partner. A lot of people say these days you can only meet people through apps. It used to be through bars and stuff. I've heard a few people say this. But that's not true, is it? Because you can meet people in the park. You can meet people at work through colleagues. You might meet the friend of a friend or the sibling of a friend who you may not go out with, but they might introduce you to other people. And amongst those other people might be the person you are seeking and who is seeking you. So when you are really focused on the method by which your manifestation has to show up, that can create a pressure point. If you said, I can only get it through the lottery, that could potentially be a pressure point for you. So you want to look at what are the beliefs that are underpinning the pressure point. So if it has to come through a specific channel, what is it about that channel that makes you think this is the way the currency has to manifest, or my lover has to show up, or my house has to show up, whatever it is that you're looking for? Because if, for example, it's money through, like for me, it might be I want to generate income through my company, and that's the only way I'm going to allow income in. That's not, by the way, but if that's what I said, what underpins that? Is it that that's how I value success? Is that how I measure success? And is that measure of success one that is truly mine, or is it one that belongs to maybe my family or my culture or society in general? So am I measuring my success against the need to have a 6-figure business with a 10-bed house and I don't know, 5 cars in the driveway or the garage and 20 holidays a year? But that may not be my measure of success. My measure of success might be peace of mind, having enough money to pay my bills and not a lot more, having a beautiful house by a beach. And it doesn't have to be a flamboyant big house. It could be just a small house that I really love, that gives me access to nature. So look at how you're measuring the success of your manifestation. Look at what are the beliefs underpinning it. I'm going to go back to Mickey and say, Mickey, if you feel like it's same old, and say there's a pressure point, which is a belief around I can't leave this job because no one's going to pay me this amount of money, I'm not going to get the same terms and conditions if I go elsewhere. That's a pressure point you're putting on yourself that prevents any new opportunities coming to you. So what is the belief underneath that, right? Is it that I won't feel safe if I go and look for another job? Is it that no one will ever appreciate my efforts? Or is it, I don't want to do this kind of work anymore, but if I stay here, then I am safe and I know I've got income coming in? Look at what your beliefs are, right? Because they are still at play, because we're physical humans. And many of you who are here live with me today have done a lot of energetic work. You are really well advanced in your journeys, but you're still physically human. And beliefs will still always come up that will just need a bit of tweaking and looking at, that will need a little bit of a adjustment, right? And for most of us, it will be really quick because it will be a perspective shift rather than any deep work that needs to be done. So, right, okay, let's just see. I was wondering why I'm not what does my team. Okay, hang on. Let me just go up because I think I've missed a few comments. So my actual 3 items are that I think are not presenting our friends, community, money, and a romantic life partner. Okay, so Carolina, here's the thing you need to think about. I think with friends and community, I think you need to think about your existing friends and community. Do you have friends? Do you have community? Now, I appreciate it's not how you want your community. I know you want your community more in physical proximity to you and you want them closer to you. But when you say the things I think are not presenting our friends' community, it makes it sound like you are friendless and communityless. Is that what you really feel? Because if that's what you really feel, then if that's what you believe, rather, how does that make you feel? That's where you need to start your healing journey on that, right? If it's actually, I do have friends and I do have community, but they're not nearby, then what do I do? What can I do with my team's help to bring them in closer, right? That might require you moving, or it might require a change in how you socialize, for example. It might mean going out of your comfort zone and going to social events on your own to meet people, is another example. When you look at money and romantic life partner, again, with money, I want you to kind of think about, is there a lack of money in my experience? Or is it that I have a goal I want to manifest? So the reason I'm picking on you like this, Carolina, is because I want you to get really clear about what you have already. And when you say these things are not presenting, it makes you sound like I don't have any friends, I don't have any money, and I don't have a romantic life partner. And there's no opportunities for these things. And I know at least 2 of those 3 things are not correct, right? So I want you to really think about, how are you phrasing this in your head? Because remember, if you are saying to yourself constantly, I don't have enough money, I don't have any friends, there's no community around me, I don't have a life partner, I have no romance, there's no love in my life, etc., that is the vibration that you are generating for yourself, and life is showing you that. That is what it's reflecting you. So if you could move from I don't have any friends to actually I do have friends, I wish I could see them more, and I wish I lived nearer to them, but I do have lovely friends, then that is a shift in, it's a tiny shift in vibration. And it could then lead you onto a lovely rampage about your friendships and your relationships. It could be something like, I have the best friends ever. I love my conversations with them. I love thinking about those conversations. I like hanging out with them. I like hanging out with their families. I love what I see in their families. Do you see what I mean? You could create your own rampage and really, really ramp up that vibration of, I'm a great person to be friends with. Let me bring those people closer to me. And that's the other thing I'm going to ask you to say is, when you think of I don't have friends or community, is there a belief or a thought, it might just be a tiny thought, that maybe I'm not a good enough friend, or I'm not good enough to get that money or have that romantic life partner? And if that's the case, we need to really turn that around, because it's just not true. Right, you are worthy of everything you want, and everything you want is seeking you too. So you need to just be really clear on what's underpinning that, okay? I'm glad you like that, Kerry. Okay, right. So let me know how you get on, Mickey, with those things. Yeah, that would be great. Okay. Brilliant, Mickey. I love that. That you've been flowing love to the work situation, because that's the other thing. When you flow divine love to a situation with the intent that everyone feels safe, that everyone feels held in divine love, in God's love, it helps shift their transitional vibration, which helps them feel better. It helps them let go of their pressure points, their things that are triggering them, and they have some moments of relief, which means they can show up better. So that's brilliant. Well done, Mickey. Keep doing that. Okay. Okay, Kerry. Yeah. I was wondering, when I'm not at work, does my team miss me as I flow so much? Kerry, do you mean your physical team or your non-physical team? And I'm going to say, if it's your physical team, they don't consciously miss you, but they do. What they miss is the peace you're flowing to them, and they don't know that it's peace actually that they're missing. They don't know, when you're not there, they know something's different, but they haven't identified that what you're flowing to them is peace, what you're flowing to them is love for themselves. And so they do miss you, but they don't know it consciously. Okay. So I should leave. Yeah, I'm not suggesting you should, Mickey. I'm just saying, if there was a thought around, I'm not appreciated, I should get a new job, but that might wobble you. I'm not suggesting you should leave at all, my lovely. Okay. And I think, yeah, they would be very shocked if you left. Okay. Okay. Right, Carolina's got all of that. Brilliant. Yeah. So does that help, Kerry? Okay, so one thing I want to do before I get onto the cards is I want to do, and we've had a few people ask for cards up front. What I want to do is a little energetic practice for us to just help us get out of our own way, right? So hang on, let me just have a sip of tea. So I want you to get comfortable. And I just want you to close your eyes for me. And this will be available to anyone who watches on replay as well. The energetics will hold. And I want you to hold one of your manifestation desires in your mind's eye. You can repeat this. You can repeat this process with every manifestation if you wish, but do it separately, okay? So just close your eyes for me. Hold one of your desires in your mind's eye. And I want you to first of all notice the flow of energy from you to your desire. How does it feel? Does it feel non-existent? Does it feel like it's flowing in a stuttering, kind of staggering way? Does it feel like it's flowing with ease? Or does it feel like it's flowing like a waterfall, like rushing towards your manifestation? And I want you to notice if there's anything in the way. It might look like boulders, it might look like a wall, it might look like a stop sign or a diversion sign. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ignite our hope vortexes, which is in the middle of your chest, just underneath, by your diaphragm, in the middle of your diaphragm. And this is because we're going to introduce hope into the energetic flow. Hope that we will receive clarity on our next steps. Hope that this clarity will help us take the right action. And hope that this will help speed up our manifestation. And then you're going to go to your strength vortex. You're going to add strength into the energy flow. This is strength of conviction that we're adding in. And we're adding strength, and by conviction I mean that your desire is a powerful desire for you. It is not any old desire, it is powerful and meaningful for you. It might feel like your energetic flow is warming up a bit. You might begin to notice some changes happening. We're also, the other reason we're adding strength in is to give us courage. Courage to take action that is relevant, that is in alignment, and that is appropriate to help us take our next steps towards our desires. And then we're going to go to your trust vortex, which is in your throat. And we're going to introduce trust into the flow. And the trust is because we're going to trust that the universe and God are holding us. We're going to trust that what we are seeking is seeking us. And we're going to trust that we will be guided so that we can receive our manifestations, our desires. So hope, strength, and trust. hope, strength, and trust. Hope, strength, and trust have been added in to your manifestation flow for your specific desire. Now look at the energy flow. How does it feel? Take a nice deep breath in and out. Relax your physical body. Keep your focus on how the energy flows feel, or you see them, or you know how it is. We're going to boost it now. We're going to introduce boost, which I've done before in this group. And that's going to really supersize what we've done tonight. And we're going to be asked to be given the next simplest step we can take to help us achieve our desire. Now, at this point, you might be presented with a belief that you need to change or you need to look at. So just ask to remember this belief. Just allow boost to do its work. And then finally, we're just going to flow some divine love to our desire. Divine love is unconditional and non-judgmental and is always available to you. Divine love is inviting God into your manifestation. Divine love is saying, I know you know what I want. I know you know that I'm worthy of the things I want. And I know that you know the best way to help me achieve what I want. So just allow it to flow. And for some of you, you might feel like your desire expands or the energy flow actually expands. Just notice and keep on loving it. We're wrapping the whole thing up in this divine love. And finally, we're just going to introduce some gratitude for our togetherness in this community and our opportunity to do this little bit of energetic work. Take a nice deep breath in and out. And when you're ready, open your eyes. Okay, Mickey, I know you didn't suggest earlier. Yeah, okay, so with that, Mickey, how did that make you feel? Did it make you feel unwanted? Did it make you feel underappreciated or unappreciated? I want you to look at those things for me, okay? And just check if you need to do some work around that. Right, that's it for tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Sending you all lots of love. Great discussion tonight as well. I really, really enjoyed it. And I will talk to you all next week. Take care now and have a lovely evening.